It's time for my quarter one update, and boy, have things changed. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is Estella, and we are here talking about quarter one, what happened, what's changed, what's been updating. If you haven't seen my recent video talking about my Hobonichi weeks and my flip through and how I set them up, I will link that in the cards below so you can go ahead and view that video. But that one just goes over my overall reasoning for kind of using the Hobonichi weeks and why I started to use it. And I really just go into more depth in there, but I really wanted to share my love of this planner. So go ahead and check that one out. So there have been a couple of updates to 2024. First of all, let's start off with, I started off with Paper Tess B6 and Sterling ink notebooks and comment planners, and I do not have access to any of them. I am someone, like, if I'm not going to use a system, I do not keep it. I ended up giving the notebook to my mom, you know, giving it to my girls, like if they want to use it to write notes or anything like that, just to kind of use it for something. And if it's not being utilized, I basically take it to the recycling location and recycle the pages that I use and recycle things properly. So with that being said, those two planners are ready. I started off with those two systems and they are not in my system at all. So things can really drastically change in a matter of a month, 2 months, or even 3 months. So after that, I decided to purchase this Aura Estelle B6 planner. Now, what I love about this planner, right, because she is like all this cuteness that I love, is that she's like a wider version of the Hobonichi weeks. And I was really loving this system. There is nothing wrong with the system itself. However, you will start seeing where I kind of drifted off because I started like a new position, freelancing. And then, I'm getting more exhausted and stressed out because I have less time. Like, my mom and dad are becoming more and more time consuming, and I have less time than I did last year. So I'm already someone with limited time. So I was just not able to keep up, like keeping this up in the evenings, because what I would basically do is take my personal rings planner. Love this planner, by the way. Mostly emptied out her guts, but kept certain things in here because if I get an itch to go back to a personal rings planner this year, guess what? Everything's already in here and all I gotta do is just go back to what I want. So I left the monthlies in here, a couple of weeklies, important information here. My exercise tracker I left in here because I can always backfill that. And then I think this is where I had a realization, like my life tasks, those are great. My book log, that is great. This was too overwhelming for me to do every single day. I don't even know why I attempted this. I think I love trackers so much, and then this was overwhelming. So these two things right away were like, why am I even tracking? Because I don't have the time to track what I need to or want to. Then I have my notes pages here. That's useful. And then of course, money talk. So I kept that in here because that's like my bills and expenses. So I decided to keep that. But other than that, everything got taken out. I always do leave ephemera in the back of any planner because I can always reutilize that. So I kind of keep it in there to keep it preserved. But yeah, so I was basically using this during the day, backfilling this at night, go into it in the morning, then take whatever's in here, backfill that. And it started becoming more overwhelming because at the end of the day, I literally sit down and I'm like, I don't have the energy to go back and forth and flip. I just don't. I want it in one book. Right? Which was the purpose of this. This was my archive planner. Archive planner means I take this book and archive it at the end of the year. But what ends up happening is that if I'm not using it in my day-to-day, it gets lost in the shuffle of trying to keep up. So That is exactly what ended up happening. The only planner that I have from 2023 to 2024 is this planner right here because it has from 2023. And I have archived this. This is like such a cutesy planner, first of all, number one. But number two, she's in great condition. And I decided to archive the information in this planner and put it in my drawer because, you know, it's always good to have a planner that you have archived because you could always reference notes. But basically, I have learned that I take the most important notes, the most important appointments, the most important things that are happening in my life, and I will put them in the back of the book and list them so whenever I need to reference them, they're in the current planner. Now, I usually take 1 year to 3 years of notes in one single planner in the back. So this has notes from 2022 and 2023 and the current year. So I basically migrated all that information and put it in this one. And then this was the current, like, you know, ongoing weekly notes, even the track, even the spending. I ended up putting that in my planner, right? So everything that I was doing to archive the information for 2024, I decided to put in here. And then I decided to put the notes back here. And I decided to put the current information that I was tracking daily also in the same system. And it's working for me. So I decided to go ahead and take this planner. She's very beautiful. And like I said, if I ever get an itch for a personal ranks planner, she's right here. I could just pull her out. This planner, I think I'm going to keep just in case I'm like, oh, you know what? I don't want to use the Hobonichi no more. Or I stopped using the Hobonichi and now I kind of want to go back to this. Or maybe I just want to, you know, fill this up or play around with it or kind of have layouts that I want to use in Hobonichi Weeks, but test them out here. So like this is a just in case. If anything happens with this, I have my backup planner or backup planner. And if I don't end up using it, then what I will do is basically make sure this is recycled properly. And yeah, that will be that. Because if it's something like pertaining to my family and personal notes, I don't necessarily just want to give it to my girls because this has to do with like my husband, my son, my parents. So this one's a little more personal. So yes, I would shred it and then recycle it right away. And this came in Q1 and she's still here. She is still going. So this, I basically ended up taking out 90% of the guts. So the only thing in here is the inbox, which is if the doctor tells me I need to do something, fax something, send over a note, ask for a doctor's note, I need to do that here. This is my monthly. So basically it's an appointment filler. So whenever I have an appointment, I need to write it down here when my son's absent. Then I have the monthly. So basically, if there's an appointment, I'm going to write it down. The doctor gives me an appointment. And then if I need to look back on appointments, I can use this to reference. So this is basically like my calendar book, mainly. And then this is a notes section here, which I have like some notes right here already from a meeting. So I'm just going to flip that. And I use it daily for that. And then I just have to buy. So like if my husband goes, go to the store and get me, you know, some sugar, or while I'm in an appointment, I get a text message from my husband saying, hey, you know, I just noticed we need more milk. Then I have to write that down so I don't forget. And then I have like cards in here for the store. And then I have my bank card and all this other stuff back here with some other cards here and cash here. This has been going strong. She came in the first quarter and she is here to stay. I really love her and I think she's so useful. And then these two right now are the current contenders for the year. I mean, I don't want to bulk up my planner too much. I really am into this whole like just write what you need, put stickers where you want, but don't overwhelm the planner, and just make sure that you're writing as much information down, because when I go back and review this or I need to find something, it's not cluttered with stickers, washi tape, any of that. Everything is very clear. I can literally look into my sections and try to find something. So that's one. Two, I started kind of color coding appointments. So if there's an appointment for my son or myself, it's like dark brown. If there's an appointment for my mom or my dad, it's this color. And then I could easily just go through the planner and literally look, okay, what appointment was that? When did she do this? And like I said, I have all the most important notes, medical notes, family history, medical history, anything like that in the back. And I can always look in the back to review what's in this notebook. So that is my Q1 update. There have been some changes, but you know what? I'm very happy with them. I'm very happy with my system. I don't feel overwhelmed anymore. I don't feel overstimulated. I just go to this one planner and literally do everything. And you know what? That's kind of what I wanted. And it's so funny because I was like, I am not getting a Hobonichi Weeks planner this year. I didn't even complete it, so I don't know what's going on. Like, and it was when I started really thinking about what was going on last year, I was trying to find like the perfect system because I got bored with this basically. And I started trying every other planner while still trying to upkeep this. And I got so overwhelmed and overstimulated, nothing worked. Lo and behold, yes, I did keep the most important notes and information for 2023 in all the other planners, and I basically transferred that information here. But I don't want to go through that again. I'm glad that I was able to kind of figure it out. And you know what? It may be boring for some people to look at the same planner every single week or make videos talking about the same planner, which is why I understand there are other planner channels that like share different videos of planners. But I have to be realistic and I have to share what works for me. I have to share what I like, what I feel is functional, and I have to kind of really be transparent about what's going on because, like I said, there are people who will go through similar situations as I'm going through. So thank you so much for watching and listening to me talk this entire time. By the way, this whole pen case has my life together because it's for my Hobonichi. I shared it in my last video, but let me tell you, this is all Hobonichi stuff. And it makes it so simple for me just to take whatever I need to take. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for everything. Thanks for just listening to me rant the past 3 weeks regarding this major update of changing my planning systems. All right, so I will see you all next time.